As someone who loves the first season of The Boys as a relatively original, somewhat fresh, but overall nuanced and well-written take on the superhero society tropes with a more cynical and politically realistic view, I was honestly quite cautiously optimistic about The Boys getting on Death Battle. My mind was racing with interesting ideas like Billy the Butcher versus Hero Killer Stain, a battle between vicious murderers who intend to kill heroes because of their corrupt nature and how they aren't truly heroes, while contrasting in that Billy is a man who has less than heroic intentions and is more selfish and cruel despite being a protagonist, while Stain is a man who fully believes in his intentions are right and wants to better society despite being an antagonist. I've also heard Billy vs. the Punisher, but not only is it not as thematic, but I'd rather not have the boys just be railroaded to a fucking Marvel or DC fight. Besides, Punisher would be better against Judge Dredd, but then that guy's better fight would be Robocop anyway. I also thought, what if it's Homelander? He has plenty of great matchups. The obvious one is Brightburn, and if they did Homelander in live action, I'd choose Brightburn as his opponent any day. Considering this was sponsored by Amazon, I thought they could easily do live action with the actual actors, and then they could easily do Homelander vs. Brightburn. Because all you need is any kid in a mask, and they'll be believable as Brandon Breyer, because you don't need to show his face, really. Other interesting options could have been Hancock and Titan. Now, Titan would be great, because the banter would be really interesting, and if they stick purely to the television version of Homelander, it becomes an interesting case of Titan blitzing Homelander, but then Homelander being extremely durable. But both of them have similar attack potency, because in the TV show, we have no reason to believe Homelander is stronger than he is durable. And of course, Biff Weed really likes it, and a battle that pleases my friends is of course better than a battle that does not. Unless it pleases me instead, I'm more important. Homelander vs. Hancock I have less personal interest in, but it also seems rather fitting, and oh yeah, there's All Might, but even if they use a character this soon after their last appearance, which to my knowledge has only happened once, honestly the best part would be seeing All Might realizing Homelander is a bad guy in the middle of the fight, and then the fight ends with a one-sided beatdown where All Might lectures Homelander on what it means to be a hero while beating the living shit out of him. And, yeah, okay, those are all I had. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are probably some interesting matchups. Off the top of my head, Tenya Eater versus A-Train could be interesting, because both of them defy the ideals that Stain stands up for, the whole what it means to be a hero thing. However, Eater is able to overcome that, while A-Train just makes excuses for his actions. They're also both speedsters, and they could have some interesting banter. But it was really just Homelander's plethora of choices and Billy vs. Stain that I was really interested in. Unfortunately, we ended up with a 7 Battle Royale something, what? I guess so. After seeing the first preview, my opinion on this has shifted from despair to disillusion to disinterest to just having no fucking clue what to think. So what seems to be happening is a pure TV show fight, which is fine. I've never read the comics and I've heard they're rubbish. Also, I'm scripting this in 2 parts. The second bit will be after Preview 2 comes out, because I want you to try to understand my thought process as time passes, and also I need to document my own spiraling insanity during lockdown somehow. What's also happening is that Homelander, the obvious straight-up canonical winner, is apparently playing a different role in the fight, so I guess without Homelander or comic book Black Noir, the winner isn't completely obvious, but it's either Maeve, Translucent, or A-Train. Queen Maeve's the strongest, Translucent can't be seen and is supposed to be the most durable, and A-Train blitzes everybody, including Starlight. I think Starlight would have a chance, but I don't think she has many feats that match Maeve tanking trucks, and the Deep is just fucked. Also, TV show Noir has done fucking nothing but take on female of the species, and he did substantially worse than A-Train did. Sleep. Anyway, so strangely, the in-universe Vought International broadcast directly says we'll learn about the villains in the match, but then the start has them outright claim it to be a battle royale between all the heroes, so I'm just confused. In-universe, is this a simulation of the boys versus the Seven? Because, like, this could be a very, very clever reference to the simulation in the comics where the Seven won. This could all be Amazon literally going to death battle to reference that in the comic the simulation happened without having to do it in the show, because that would be very, very smart on Amazon's part. I'd love if that was the case. But the thing is, right, that the Seven won in the comic, and that was against a version of the boys which had superhuman powers, or at least Billy had superhuman strength and stuff. Because it's obvious that the boys are gonna win. Just saying it now, The boys are going to get involved with the production and make it so they win the simulation, or Wiz and Boomstick will rig it. Honestly, this seems hard to predict because it's not a traditional death battle, I don't think. This is more about a story about Death Battle being hired by an in-universe Vault International to promote their characters. The implication, I guess, being that in the universe of The Boys, there is a TV show about the Seven called The Boys, and it is only about the Seven and how great they are. I get lore-wise, this does not make any sense. The fact that they say be sure to check out the show. I know that it's done because it's a promotion, but like in universe, that does not make any sense to me. But I doubt that's going to be in the actual episode itself, I guess. Anyway, like the thing is, the characters who should win a battle royale between all 12 characters are obvious. In the TV show, it's Homelander. In the comic, it's Black Noir. It's the Seven if it's a fight between both teams. Queen Maeve, probably, if they don't use Homelander or Comic Noir. Or TV show Stormfront, who I'm not sure on the power of because I haven't seen Season 2 yet, but she's not involved. Translucent is taking her place, even though he's done nothing in the show, but he is supposed to be completely indestructible, which he seems to be because he was only killed through a bomb up the arse. But I don't think this episode can necessarily be predicted, because it's not really a death battle episode as it is an episode about a death battle episode, if that makes sense. Alright, so now I've seen the boys' preview, and honestly, the preview was funnier than every single analysis this season, with the only exception being the Obi-Wan Kenobi analysis. That analysis is the only thing that matches this preview and how funny it is. I love the blatantly wrong facts stated by Death Battle, and how extremely obviously biased the script is. It fits in universe, and it is really funny. And the advertisements for Starlight, that was great, and for some reason the we know he's French joke was funny to me. Anyway, prediction. This doesn't change much. It seems like Starlight is going to be on the boys' side, which does make this a 6v6 and marginally more fair, but then we have 2 superpowered people and a bunch of normies with weapons versus 5 superpowered people and the Deep. Honestly, I am liking the idea behind this death battle, where it's more Death Battle and the boys versus Vought International and the Seven, so I do kind of have my hopes up for it. But, I don't know. Based on this, I think it's clear the boys are gonna win somehow, whether they rig it or they stop it somehow, I don't know. But it's possible there's also gonna be no winner at all. You don't know. I don't think I can do a proper prediction for this episode. This is clearly very different. There's 12 combatants. Wiz and Boomstick are paid off in-universe by the in-universe Ford International. Homelander is somehow playing a different role, and the comics aren't being used at all, so this is a case of explicitly not using a character source material anyway. I don't know. So, hopefully this episode's going to be good. I just hope this episode goes over well enough for Death Battle to do another boys episode. I'd take fucking the Deep versus Deep Seeking, I guess. Okay, not that. Though I do love Deep Seeking, so maybe that'd be further just have Deep Seeking on Death Battle. But at that point, I'm not really doing it for the boys. I'm doing it for Deep Seeking. Anyway. Yeah, this is a scatterbrain video because it's a scatterbrain idea that we have no information on, at least not right now. I mean, I want to get this out on a timely manner. I've only got like less than a week before it officially comes out anyway, so that's all I got for you. Now, if you could, go watch Gary vs. Standard Galaxy Grudge Match.